doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. Stand a little taller, doesn't mean I'm wrong.
Hello, my Beyond Boundaries FL followers. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries. Here we are today. We have the pleasure of speaking with Johanna Lopez, State Representative for Florida House District 43, who is now seeking to serve our community as the next Orange County Commissioner. We'll go beyond the title and get to know the person, her vision, and her goals for our community. Please join us in welcoming the Representative Johanna Lopez. Welcome.
Welcome, Johanna.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go quickly attack. District 4 is made up of a lot of different neighborhoods, each with its own personality. When you think about District 4, what comes to your mind first?
You know, I think about a lot of potential, a lot of potential that we have, but also a lot of challenges. Even though District 4 is stuck on time, when I compare my district with other districts, I strongly believe that we have great neighborhoods, great restaurants. I also think about cultural centers. I also think about a route of business that we can even visit different countries of the world, you know, just by visiting the district. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants that you could delete yourself eating from different cultures.
Yes, and successful, you know.
Yeah.
Most of our restaurants started here in our district and then diversified across the whole county.
Well, good. Yeah, that'll get us a little bit fatter.
Yeah. I'm a foodie, so I'm okay.
Go ahead.
Well, you spend a lot of time in your campaign talking with a lot of residents and people that live here. What's one conversation that actually has stuck out more?
You know, affordable housing, and when we talk about affordable housing, it's not only home ownership, but also rentals. They're very concerned in how to survive by paying so high, you know, rentals and the problem that they're facing, that most of them, if they're having just 2 jobs or maybe 1 job and they're middle class, they have to move. Even our teachers have to move because affordability, you know, is a challenge here in not only in District 4 but also in Florida. And I think that this is one of my priorities because of that. I think that the way we address affordable housing here in Orange County is not successful because they don't want to put everybody at the table. When we talk about affordable housing, we have to put their developers, we have to put their contractor, the community, you know, representative of the homeless community as well, because one of the districts that has a lot of homelessness is my district as well. And I think that everybody, nonprofit, the profit side needs to be at the table, and we have to be more effective when we talk about permitting and all of this bureaucracy that we're facing right now in Orange County, in order to work faster in building small units, so we can have better prices. The more you wait, and how slow you are in that bureaucracy, the prices are gonna be up. In conversations with construction companies, you know, they told me, Johanna, I have to increase the price when we submit the proposal, because we know we have to wait at least 2 years, most of the time 4 years, to start building something that is already, that the land is already there. They already have, they're submitting everything. But every single time they submit plans or they ask for permits, if they miss something, they have to start all over from zero, instead of just taking consideration the steps that they already passed, so they can continue and move forward.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that it takes a lot. You just don't buy property and just build. You got to buy a bond, so which is $1 million or more, depending. Plus, on top of that, the tariffs from the lumber that's coming from Canada, on top of that, raises the cost, and people don't understand that unless, because a lot of people are quick to complain and say, okay, what's this? But you know what? I say get involved. Get involved instead of complaining, because then that way you know what it entails, and maybe you could even do more for the community.
Agree, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely.
Great, okay.
So a lot of people know you as state representative, But now you're running for Orange County Commissioner. What inspired you to make that transition?
Wow, that's a great question. Being close to my community, that's number one. And number two, even though I was very successful in Tallahassee, I passed 8 bills in 4 years. Being part of the minority is almost impossible to pass that amount of bills, but I learned how to build relationships and how to listen to my constituents. I think that here that I will be 1 out of 9 because now we're gonna have 5 seats and one is the mayor. We're gonna become like the mayor plus 8 commissioners. I think that I can be even more successful because number one, I'm not gonna be part of the minority. I'm gonna be part of the majority. I can have conversations over and over in immediate relationship with my constituents that I did not have that opportunity when I was in Tallahassee, even though I have an office here, but it's another person, it's not the same thing, it's my staff. So I think that here I have more opportunities to serve my community in an immediate way and find solutions. I'm a person of solutions and build relationships. I think that was mostly inspired me. I'm a mother. I'm also a grandmother. My mom still lives here in my district. My mom will be 99 years old in December 27, and and she's very healthy. Now because of her age, she start forgetting things, obviously. But it's serving, and all of them live in my district. My sister, my grandmother, my mother, my son. So I think that I'm just coming back home.
So you have roots here.
Oh, definitely.
Excellent.
Yes.
And not because you're here, I'll be honest with you, because Rose knows I like to say how it is sometimes, but you impressed me when I saw that you passed those 8 bills. When I was reading into it, I was like, wait a minute. Okay. But there wasn't just bills you just say, okay, let me pick any, meaning, my remote. You actually were involved, and I saw that you actually are there. You just don't say, okay, I support this. No, you actually there physically, and involved in the community. And it's hard because you don't really see that. You see people doing that when they campaign. You're not. You're like Samuel, for example. If I use that example, I see you involved literally there. And I'm glad that you're running because we need this. We really do.
Definitely.
So anyway.
Thank you.
Is it me or you?
You.
Okay. That's right. For viewers who may not know, how is serving a county commissioner different from what you're serving in your position now?
Definitely. Well, at the state level, what we do is filing bills, okay, and bring money to our districts, or to the state. Depends on the nonprofit that apply the appropriation and the process. Exactly. So it's mostly filing bills. It's mostly submit proposals that we can improve or create a piece of law. And that is mostly the conversation that we have over and over. Business owners, constituents, 100% of my bills were based in a specific situation with family members or with doctors or with business owners, so mostly it's about bills. It's about law.
Nobody's left out.
No. But here in locally, it's mostly immediate solution. Let's say transportation. Let's talk about affordable housing, like closely building, it's more wrap-up services, for example. It's more about homelessness. And even though we have at a state level, we can create law to improve all of the issues that I was telling you. Here in Orange County, we receive the law and interpret it in a way that we can create local policies to address that situation.
Okay.
So it's mostly policy. It's more local. Let's say you have something that happened in your street, or you need lights, or you need signs, or something about safety. You can call our office immediately, and we can follow up with that. Not saying that I did not do it as a state rep, because I know who is the person in charge of that, so we immediately call the right elected official to follow up. But I can solve the situation immediately in terms of just going after somebody. answering the question, I'm thinking about certain commissioners or certain positions. And sometimes say, why I have to call this person so many times when I know that this situation can be solved, faster.
Yeah. Okay, great.
If you were elected, and we go to water. What's the first issue you would want to start working on, and why?
Definitely is affordable housing, because I strongly believe that we have to educate our community in how to work at the same table with stakeholders that usually have a bad reputation because of the misinformation. Let's say development, for example. Of course, we don't want development in areas that we know we want to protect our environment.
Yeah.
But we have to follow, because we have to follow the law, but they need to be there because they have land. They can contribute with the land so we can build units. So we can, and sometimes they give it to us. I remember, in Avalon, that now is going to be in District 4, the developer of that area, when he created Avalon, he did not have schools. So he said to himself, okay, how can I attract the middle class if I don't have schools here? So he went to the school system, to Orange County Public School, and he gave away the land. Say, you know what? I need schools. He did not sell the land. He gave the land to OCPS so they can build the schools ASAP, so he can be more successful in selling house to middle class. Today, if you look to those schools, all of them are a school. We have high schools, we have middle school, we have elementary school. Don't even one, we have two middle school. So for me, I think that the misinformation that we constantly have, in the dais at the local level needs to be more. We have to be more transparent. We have to open house. We have to open the door. We need to have those conversations to address and to achieve affordable housing. We cannot have, we need to work in sizes because we don't have enough space. We have to be smart in how to grow because we don't want to affect our nature as well. But we have to talk about density and intensity. We have to talk about the law in terms of the churches, the faith organizations right now have a law that have allowed them to create affordable housing and not putting these obstacles of permits. Now we have also a lot of schools that are closed that we can build in those buildings affordable housing, for example, for teachers. Okay. So our teacher doesn't have to gentrify and leave our county and stay in here and feel comfortable in being close to the community.
Well, my wife actually is a counselor for CPS.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she retires in 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And she loves it. But the thing is, like you said, a lot of people that are concerned because some school closed and stuff like that. But they're going, okay, so where are we going now? But like you're saying, it's more. Again, if you're not involved, you don't know. You take in the schools and you say you're gonna make housing out of them, but then you're building elsewhere.
Yes.
So it's not like you're taking away to fix other populations because a lot of people say Florida's getting crowded. I've been here since 2011, and there's stuff that wasn't built is built. I'm going like, wow, and I see more and more people in Target and Walmart. I'm like, I thought New Yorkers got it.
It's true. I agree.
Yeah, a lot of people coming from North. There's people even from California, Texas moving over here.
Definitely.
So there's opportunities. I mean, you got the big three also. So you got Disney. You got Universal. You got SeaWorld, but you have everything else that's over here.
Definitely.
So those are opportunity jobs. So,
yes, definitely.
So. What's one challenge that facing Orange County that people often underestimate until they take a closer look?
That's great. That's a great conversation. I strongly believe that Orange County is overlooking our Latino community.
Okay.
I strongly believe that my community is not respected.
Okay.
I strongly believe that most of the time, people criticize the Latino community because they are not voting. But I have questions for different organizations and from different people from different demographics, even for our own Latino community. If we don't feel related, we're not gonna vote. You know, you told me, you know,
Yes.
when someone knocked your door, you
Yeah.
know, you didn't even want to know about
No, I
politics.
didn't. I'll be honest.
And it's
Yeah.
in your and it's in your veins,
Yeah.
you know. In Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
politics is part of our culture.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
When we have elections, you know, everybody's out.
Yeah.
We don't care how age you know how
Yeah.
age you are.
Yeah.
You know, you can be young, you can have the right to vote or
Yeah.
not yet
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're so young. But you are there, you know, fighting and talking about
You
politics.
got the jóvenes involved. Yeah.
Yeah, but here in Orange County, no worries about them. They're not gonna vote anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what? We are the second, you know, in Orange County, the second biggest group registered to vote.
Great.
But the day we're going to vote, we become the third
Okay.
group voting. What we are not doing, or what we're doing, that the Latinos are not feeling related or engaged enough to vote. You know, it can be so many, you know, we can provide so many answers about
Right,
that,
right,
you know, can
right.
be mailers, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I see mailers and why this person is just translating
Mhm.
in Google, you know, in Spanish, you know, I don't feel related.
Yeah.
Why they don't create the message in a way that, you know, the Puerto Rican feel
Right,
related.
right.
Let's use the Puerto Rican
Right,
slang, you
right,
know.
right, right.
You know, vota, no te vayas al
Yeah.
garete,
Yeah,
tú
yeah,
sabes,
yeah.
ven y haz la diferencia.
Yeah.
Pero it's just translations after translations.
Mhm,
Even the colors means a lot, you know. In PR, if we look into red and blue, you know, here might be different, you know. And sometimes when I remember when I was knocking doors for school board, that was my first position as an elected official, they asked me, what is this? Because we don't have school board in Puerto Rico like that.
Yeah.
So for us was also a lesson that we learned, and we changed our mailers. So we have a mailer just in Spanish, also not only in Spanish,
Right.
explaining what is a school board, okay, and
That's
why
right.
it's so important for us, you know, to have
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
voting for an elected official. I was the first Puerto Rican, by the way, the first Latina in the school board after 150 years
Wow.
having school board members in Orange County Public Schools.
Wow.
And I think that the difference was educating them.
Right.
You know, we have to educate our Latino community, but also both parties, you know, Republican and Democrat, needs to really have the interest to learn and being educated in who we are and how we are, because we are different. We have even within the Puerto Rican community, we have a very diversified group. It's not the same if you come from New York than if you come to Chicago or from the island or born here, you know. My son, you know, born in Puerto Rico, my first two children, and the other two, they born here. And I can see, you know, they're different.
Yeah.
How they speak, how they dress, how they, you know, so it's and nothing wrong with that, you know.
Right.
Is that we have to learn and we have to be engaged.
Okay. The Rose?
When you look back at your time in Florida House, what's the moment that reminded you why you choose public service in the first place?
Wow. You know, wow, that's a good one. When I was in Tallahassee, you know, remember that who inspired me to run for office were my students. Okay, so I saw a lot of needs in my Latino community, mainly in Colonial High School. We did not have mentorship programs. We did not have a space to speak Spanish and explain to the parents how to navigate the system. And when I was running for school board, that I have 100 volunteers, mostly Hispanic, mostly immigrants, mostly ESOL students that did not speak English. They have the power to even inspire me to believe in myself, because I was very afraid of speaking publicly, you know. When I came from Puerto Rico, I started working at the airport in a car wash because I have a lot of fears because of my language barriers.
Yeah.
And then after that in a Taco Bell. So for me, going to Tallahassee and now see all of these young people engaged at the Capitol, you know, we have a group there in Tallahassee that when we're in the floor, they come to us. Do you need something? They bring coffee, they bring water, they talk about politics. They invited us to talk to them, ask questions, visited us. Kids, from elementary school, asking about history of Puerto Rico, who you are, you're the first of this, So for me, I was so inspired because I know for a fact that I was talking to the next governor, in the future, all of these politicians. I wanted them to have a great experience sitting down in my seat in the office, and they felt so important, and giving tours when we did the Puerto Rico Day in Tallahassee, give them tours and introduce this group of students from high school here from Orange to other elected officials. I don't care if they were Republican, if they were Democrat, because I don't know, in the future, which party they're going to choose, based on their personal experiences. So I totally forgot about I'm a Democrat, or no, I just focus in they have to learn more. They need to have a great experience. So they continue to be engaged. And I think that's give me hope every single time I have a young person there, that not even the parents are so engaged, but they inspire even the parents to be engaged in politics. One of them has a podcast as well, and he lives in another city, and then he became a part of our internship program in the office, and and he speaks both language, and I see the mom speaking their native language. They're from India. So I felt so proud, and moved me because, I think that this new generation, I think they are very engaged in politics. At least that's a hope for us, that we can be more effective in how to go and for who.
Right. Definitely. Well, I'm a stickler for, I believe if I'm going to do something, I do it 100% or I don't. And one thing impressed me was, like you were saying, you worked in the airport washing cars, you worked in Taco Bell, no shame in that. We all got to do it one way or the other. We got to move in and take care of our family. I was raised, and my father said, this is what counts and stuff like that. So one of the things is leadership. Leadership, I believe that when I used to work for Pepsi as a manager, okay? And I used to say hi. I'll look real quick just so I have an idea. I used to say hi to even everybody, including the janitor. And one day, the janitor said, "Excuse me," and this was a couple of months. He goes, "Excuse me, why do you say hi to me?" And I looked at him like, "Wait a minute, did I offend him?" I said, "Did I say something? Did I offend you? I'm sorry. I usually say good morning. I'm thinking, what I say basically is good morning. How are you?" He goes, no, you didn't. You actually make me want to come to work." I'll say, "I'm confused. I'm sorry." Because the first question was one thing, then he's giving kind of compliment because nobody says hi to me.
Wow.
Because he's a janitor?
Because he's a janitor.
That's crazy.
So I'm like, wait a minute. Only because I'm a suit doesn't mean that, you don't count. You're part of my team. And he looked at me like, you're part of my team. Because without you, this place doesn't run.
Agreed.
You clean and you maintain. If we didn't do that, a food facility, imagine what would happen.
Agreed.
So I believe in the 4 F's. And the 4 F's is be firm, be first. Well, be first, be firm, be fair, and be flexible. Do you agree with that?
Oh, definitely yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm
definitely yes.
I'm asking, and it's obvious because your history does show that you have been doing that.
Definitely,
Definitely. So I guess that you're gonna take that with you even now.
And I think that my story, like you said, growing up in a project in Puerto Rico, Caserío, public housing. I remember the place called Juan Garcia Ducos. I born there, have been raised there. My mom cleaned houses for living. She only have a 6th grade education. My dad served the military on the second in the World War II. And I remember, that my mom always inspired me to continue to study. You have to study. I don't want you to do this. But the surroundings, I remember having a dog that lives in the street that always follow me because I give him food. No collar, nothing. But he was But I'm playing with kids, no shoes, maybe with diapers only, and I study. I pay attention to my mom,
Right.
and I finish my education. But I think that those experiences and see, the poverty and see the heart of my mom, because my mom with the, we don't have a lot, but we always have food at the table. I think that was the main purpose of my mom.
Donde come uno, come todo.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
and then offer food to people
Oh, yeah.
that approach the house, through the balcony and say, "Do you want to eat? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Did you eat today?" And people that we know
Yeah.
want to eat, and that's why visited us, because want to eat, and then once they eat, they left.
Yeah.
But they were loyal to my mom,
Right.
and they call her la alcaldesa de Ducos,
Oh, wow.
the mayor of Ducos. That is
Okay.
the play of the name of the place. But my mom, with a sixth grade education, was a community leader. When we have legislators in Puerto Rico, even governor candidates that were her party affiliation knock on that door, and they even put stages at front of that apartment
Wow.
in the project
Wow.
to talk about their platform.
Wow.
So I strongly believe that having those experiences is like, allow me to be more flexible. Don't judge the book because of the cover.
Right.
Being fair, because obviously I suffer. I suffer a lot. I'm also a survivor of domestic violence.
Okay.
So women that are also survivor of domestic violence feel related to my situation. So I know what is homelessness. I know how to struggle exactly economically. So that giving me also another vision, and know what to say in which places, because sometimes we see candidates or elected officials that are saying the wrong message in the wrong places,
Yeah, they're running for the wrong reasons.
and running for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. That's what impressed me about between you and Samuel. And again, I'm not just saying it because you're here. It's because I followed up and everything. I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't just somebody like the old times in New York. You used to see the politicians going up kissing babies and stuff like that, and then later on they're going, hi, what? Not that you expect them to remember because of so many people and stuff like that in a sense. But the thing is, though, you literally are involved.
Yes.
And like I said, you have roots here and roots that are growing. I hope they break the foundation. Rose?
If you were sitting here 4 years from now, like what are we, 2000?
I'm lousy with maths, you know that. So
2030.
2030.
What would you hope residents of District 4 say changed because you serve as their commissioner?
That's a great one. That we have a cultural center, because we have Casa del Barrio and we have all of these places, and we don't have one here.
Okay.
I think that people need to know more about us, and a space that we can talk about our history, our culture. We are very, our ancestors did so much. I'm an Afro Latina. I want the African American community to understand that we also have African in our blood.
Yes, we do.
And indigenous people. So I think that a cultural center, number one. Number two, I would love to see my district more updated. I don't want my district to look behind. I want my district to attract tourism because of what we have here. That we have a route, like in Puerto Rico, we have a chinchorreo, we have a bus that stop in different restaurants and different iconic places in our district. Let's identify our iconic sites in our district and become an attraction to tourism as well, because we also have a history. It's like people try to erase our history. We have a history here in Central Florida. And we are growing, I strong, we changed the name of the Stonewall Jackson to Roberto Clemente when I was a school board member. But, hearing that they're going to close the school, it made me nervous, because I think, okay, so that's the only school that has a Hispanic name, has a Puerto Rican name. It's the only school. It's the first school and only school in Orange County because of our fights when I was a school board member, And the reality is that school, before I submit a motion to redo everything, the school already chose Jackson as the name of the school.
Mhm.
And I complained and I said, listen, if you change Stonewall Jackson to Jackson, you're not changing the name. And the principal is not there to explain to us, all the board members, okay, what happened that the student chose that name. I don't think the students and the community know who was a Stonewall Jackson. So I want that survey to go back, and you're going to describe who was Stonewall Jackson, and you will allow the students to identify 5 names, but I want 3 names, Latino names.
Yep.
Because that's 75% Latinos in at that moment, Stonewall Jackson Middle School.
Right.
And after that, and I heard so many people got upset because no, you have the power to put the name right now, but I didn't want that.
Right.
I'm not a dictator.
Right.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yes. So I wanted that to came from the students.
You didn't abuse power.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Love it.
And the students, we have the names, like 3 names, Latino names, and 2 names of street that were there, and it was overwhelmingly, more than 70% voted in favor of Roberto Clemente. I didn't choose that. My community chose that.
Right.
I recommended to have 3 names. I did not say, and I remember that on one of the reporters in the news, the day that I decided to make a motion and for those recommendations, she said, so you don't like Roberto Clemente name? I love Roberto Clemente name, but it's not about Johanna. It's about the community and the students of Stonewall Jackson Middle School,
True.
So I think that having creating spaces for our community that they know they created it. I was there to facilitate it and to voice their concerns, but not to impose, and I really want to see our homeless people living in those parks, and I think that they're suffering a lot. Every case is different, but we don't have transitional housing either.
Right.
And we have to find the right place so we can also respect our communities, but allowing them to be in spaces that they can find transportation to start their lives, again.
Yeah, definitely resources, definitely. I'm gonna take over the next 2 questions, and then I'll end it with Rose. One of the things is politics can sometimes divide people. What's your approach about bringing together residents who have different opinions to share the same community?
Great question. I love it. I'm working on that since day one. When I was, most of the time when people are doing politics, they knock on doors in a universe that they chose based on the party that they are representing. I always try to knock on doors of every party affiliation and also non-partisan, but for me it's extremely important to have those conversations because when a person is non-partisan, it's for a reason. Okay, and I respect that. They might have a bad experience with one party, or maybe they're very, comfortable in how politics are, happening here in Florida or in Orange County. I don't know. So number one, talking to everybody. Even if you are Democrat, Republican, non-partisan, I'm here to talk to you. Number two, bringing everybody to the table. All the listening tours that I am doing since last year, we did in 2 months we did 17 listening tour. Okay, and I remember at the beginning my staff is like, "Are you crazy?" Because mobilizing different people on different issues in a short period of time before I go into Tallahassee. It's challenging, okay? We achieve it, okay? Because you can see also social media. That's not AI. That's the reality.
Right.
The people invited to the town halls, they represent every phase of the let's say affordable housing. That is the topic that we were talking today. I invited nonprofits. I invited the Association of Builders Association of Housing Association, that is GOBA. I invited a profit person that is a contractor, okay? But I also find another nonprofit that she's executive director, and she her name is for what is the name of the organization for the Humana. Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, happy to have you.
Habitat for Humanity. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I think it more. So, when we started talking about these issues, the community felt like very overwhelmed. They started asking questions and being very thankful about. They did not know, the groups that exist, all the challenges that we have to achieve affordable housing. So, and they're from different parties. We have Republicans, we have Democrats, we are not affiliated. So I think that I strongly believe that we have to continue to do that. Once I win a seat, I start representing my community, even though they're Republican, non-party affiliated, people that not even they're immigrants. Of course, I'm here to serve you. But I think that my strategy is to be open to every conversation. I always open the doors of my office, even with people that think differently. Okay. I am very respectful with my LGBTQ community, and I always open the door to groups that I know are against certain things. But I want to hear what their feedback. We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. The reality is that most of my, my opinion and how I believe in certain things is because democracy is supposed to make people feel safe and respected, and that's the main point.
Absolutely. All right, and my final question is: we've talked a lot about your work and your vision. This is gonna be a tough question. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay.
Okay.
We talked a lot about your work and your vision for the community, but when you're not serving as state representative or running a campaign, who is Johanna Lopez? And what is something people would be surprised to learn about Johanna outside politics?
Oh yes. So you know what? I love how to I love to sing karaoke.
Really?
Yes, I love to dance salsa. I took salsa classes professionally with my daughter when she was 11 years old.
Okay.
And I love salsa. I even dance bachata too. I learned bachata before salsa.
I'm learning bachata. My ex-wife is Dominican. I'm learning bachata because my daughter's getting married in December. So
nice.
my 3 left feet, keep tripping.
Yeah, and now change. Bachata now is more sexy. More,
One thing. Let's be honest. This is sexy born. So, I don't have to work that hard.
It's natural.
Yeah, very natural.
And you know what I love? And this is, my daughters know this. I love to cook to my dogs.
Oh.
You know,
So I read a lot about that, that having different, ingredients so they can have a complete meal.
Right.
But like a meal that is made, naturally home.
I'll show you some recipes.
I do my daughter's snacks.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she goes crazy for the
Oh,
snacks.
that's great.
She hasn't like the bubbles. She hasn't
Yeah,
been like
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she wants to
and I do
I have to learn.
her own itching medication.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did a balm and I just
that's great.
Natural ingredients.
Yes, that's great. That's great. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So
Yeah, that's
wow.
good.
The only salsa
She's human.
Yeah.
She's human.
Yeah.
She's just like one of us people. She's like one of us. So.
That's true. That's
But
true.
definitely, the only salsa I know is the one that goes with chips.
Oh,
And the music,
really? No way.
Yeah. My Spotify is, her son was looking through my Spotify. My Spotify has so much music. Now, I grew up in the 70s. I grew up was born in 65, but all my music I used to DJ when I was young. So I have a long collection of music. It takes over 2 years to listen to every song in Spotify.
No
You listen to my
way.
Spotify. Yeah. I have everything from even opera.
No
Yes.
way. That's amazing.
Yeah, so
that's
definitely.
great,
So
that's great.
salsa and everything else, we're talking about
Yeah.
finding all-stars,
Yes,
those guys. So,
Hector Lavoe.
yeah, plus I go back with Bobby Capo.
Wow,
That. So yeah.
No,
so,
you're better than me.
No, I
Also my granddaughter. I love to go shopping with my granddaughter. Doing things with her and eat with her. Because
Your family
she's
oriented.
7. She's 7 years old, and she says some things that I just laugh, and we take selfies and we play with the dogs, and I like that.
That's one thing that I like that you and Samuel are bringing to the table now is that you're doing your job, you're not forgetting your job, your responsibilities, but you're also in tune with family, and that's what we do.
Yeah, my mother has told me, when you talk to Joanna, Tell her to put lights in the streets. There's no lights.
Oh yeah, which one? Which street?
Oh, the streets. She says everything is dark. She hates dark streets.
really?
Hate it.
The thing is,
Why they don't put lights?
No, but the thing
Yes.
is, though, we're talking about. I'm from the Bronx originally. She's from Manhattan originally. Even though they went Puerto Rico, the transition is still the same in a
Yes.
sense because they see it as less. But really, I mean, maybe she sees less lights. I see enough lights over here. But I guess it depends where they're at.
Agree.
So,
Bueno,
Mira, esto es tan oscuro, Dios mío.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, that happened to me when I go to Tallahassee. I say Tallahassee is so dark
yeah.
that they need more lights because we have so many.
Yeah.
I feel that we have a lot of light, but maybe your mom is
Yeah.
right, you know. You have to look in the street that
Yeah.
if you feel,
Yeah.
might be right, yes.
So
Rose?
before we wrap up,
Yeah.
we're almost done. And I enjoyed this conversation that we had with you. This podcast was very interesting, like Samuel's. Is there anything we didn't ask that you would like your audience to know? Those out there.
Oh, wow.
What do you want to tell them?
They're all yours.
You can even tell them in Spanish
Yeah.
to the Latino people.
Oh,
out
that's
there.
great. That's great. Pienso que es que crean en ellos mismos, you know, believe in yourself, and in a way that nobody can step on your dreams. No dejes que nadie limite tus sueños o te haga sentir menos. Piensa y cree siempre en ti. Y hay que votar. We have to vote.
Yeah.
I think that the way that we can make people respect us is through
Right.
register to vote and make people vote for those who will represent us.
Yeah.
Y es importante esto de votar, ¿verdad? A veces las personas dicen, ay, ellos no hacen nada, no voy a votar porque no hago la diferencia. Al contrario, cada vez que no votas, es cuando entonces le estás dejando a otras personas que tomen decisiones
Right.
por nosotros.
Right.
Mientras más latinos votemos, más nos van a respetar.
Right.
Porque no es lo mismo que digan, ay, ellos no votan y no nos hacen caso.
Right.
Pero espérate, mira, son el segundo grupo más grande registrado para votar. Ellos pueden cambiar cualquier race aquí en Florida Central. Y yo creo que es importante que todos voten. Yo pienso que...
I agree. I definitely agree. I agree. I support that. I support you as well, Samuel. And I thank you. And this is sincere. I thank you for doing this for us because you'll be working for us and fighting for us at the same time, which people don't understand. It's two different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I really thank you. Sincerely, I thank you for me, my family, Rose, I'm sure, you know, and for the community that we do need you.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
So
Here
people,
to serve you.
look for your ballots. Look for Johanna Lopez.
You can already actually vote in the library, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you go vote in Johanna Lopez. Look for
Johanna
her.
Lopez.
Yeah.
Okay.
And busca la papeleta. Mira la papeleta.
Y en
como dicen.
noviembre, yo estoy en noviembre.
Ah, ¿estás en noviembre?
Estoy en noviembre.
Ah, pues ahí sí,
yes,
porque
yes.
yo busqué en la papeleta mía y no está.
Sí, no
Y
estoy
yo,
hasta
¿dónde
noviembre.
Yo, Dios mío, ¿dónde está?
Sí,
I
sí,
go,
sí,
pero
no,
is it
yeah.
here,
Put on,
yours?
put on your glasses.
If they would tell, you know, como en Puerto Rico, dice, usted nomina a alguien,
Yes,
hay un
yes,
espacio,
yes.
I would have voted.
It's like a mother. She said she doesn't see any lights. I said, well, open your eyes. You have them closed.
Oh.
The joke I saw a lot of people, my aunt, that she's old school, God let her rest in peace, she used to put eyeshadow over her eyes. So when she talks to you, she'll talk to you like this so you can make sure you can see the eyeshadow. And then you ask a question, she opens the eyes.
So cute.
Yeah. So, okay. Stephanie?
Bueno, mi gente, ha sido un placer
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Johanna, again.
hablar con Johanna Lopez. Johanna, ¿verdad?
Yes. Como Johanna Rosano.
Y los vemos en la próxima. Gracias. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good day. Would you like to ring my bell?
Take care. God bless. What's that? Take care. God bless. Remember, you can find us on YouTube,
Instagram, TikTok,
Instagram.
Facebook, Threads.
and soon coming to X.
Oh, are we moved X?
X used to be Twitter.
X-ray?
No,
Twitter.
you already know
Twitter.
that.
XXX?
Yeah. We're gonna be coming to X soon. And any links with Johanna, I'm gonna put it in the description. So, Rose,
Yes.
you wanna end it?
So, see you guys. And Johanna's gonna ring my bell.
You did honor ringing out the guard. Ring that bell. Don't worry. Ring it. The bell you ring is for subscribing, so that we get notified. So please subscribe. Help us out so we can bring you more content like this. Take care and God bless.
Bye-bye.